Hey everybody, I just finished up a water change on my 29-gallon tank here, and I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the filter. In fact, I want to spend a few minutes talking about the biofilter in particular. And when I say biofilter, I mean this little black sort of spongy thing that sits in front of your mechanical filter. This, of course, being the mechanical filter. I've not yet gotten to changing this one. So when I first started keeping fish, I didn't really understand how this worked or what it did. I was maintaining it improperly. I was over cleaning it. And so I want to take a few minutes and just talk about that. And what it is basically a sponge that provides surface area for bacteria to live. The way your nitrogen cycle works, very briefly, is that as ammonia is being produced in your tank as a waste product from the fish, the ammonia gets oxidized by a particular species of bacteria, and the waste product from that oxidation is nitrite. And there's another species of bacteria in the tank that oxidizes the nitrite, and the byproduct or the waste product from that is nitrate. And that, in a nutshell, is how your nitrogen cycle works. But that bacteria needs a place to live. It lives on surface area. It does not live in the water column. So transferring old tank water to a new tank, that does nothing. It's surface area that is important. And these sponges provide surface area. They also provide water flow because the bacteria can't go get its food. The food has to come to the bacteria. And the food, of course, being the ammonia and nitrite. So by having the water flow through this sponge that has all that bacteria growing in it, you're basically scrubbing out all of your ammonia and nitrites, and you're converting it all into nitrates. And that's how all that works. So it's important to keep two things in mind. You need to allow water to flow through this. And in this case, this tank, for some reason, this one's actually cleaner than the one that I've already cleaned. So this one actually doesn't look too bad. But the one I already pulled out of here and cleaned was just covered in grunge. It was so gross, and basically water was not really flowing through it anymore. I was getting that backup overflow that indicates that my filters are clogged. And as you can see, while that filter is not clean, it's certainly not restrictive. Water was flowing through the filters. What was backing it up was my biofilters. And when the biofilters get that clogged, they're not working very efficiently. So you need to clean them out a little bit. But you got to remember, it's home to bacteria, so don't take it over to your tap water if you've got chlorine or whatever. If you've got municipal water, keep that in mind. You have to keep all the bacteria that's in there alive. You don't want to kill it. So use tank water as you're doing your water change. If you're using a siphon hose, you can go to the end where it's running out and rinse it and sort of wring it out and run your thumb over it and that sort of thing. The end result should be something like that. You don't want to sterilize it. You don't want it so clean that, it looks like it's new. But you want to just, run your thumb over it and wring it out and rinse it and dip it in the water and get it nice and clean so that when it's in situ here, the water just freely flows right through it. So it doesn't have to be all gunked up to be working. It doesn't have to have that much bacteria. Remember, this is bacteria. You can't see it. So I didn't sterilize that sponge. I just removed all of the physical crud that allowed the water to flow through it. This one is not nearly as dirty as that one was when we started, but you can obviously see the difference. There's no light coming through this at all. So this is very restrictive on flow and still needs to be cleaned out. So if you've got well water like I do, you have water that's not harmful, I just take mine over to the sink and give it a good scrub and then bring it back and stick it back in the tank and everything's fine. But remember, if you've got chlorine or chloramine or anything like that, or even if you're not certain, as you're doing your water change, just pull some water out of the tank in a bucket and then rinse it in the bucket as you're doing your water change and then put them back in. So allow for water flow, but do not sterilize, and you'll be good to go. So that was a little bit longer of a discussion than I expected it to be. That was going to be a little quick tip video, but you know how it is with me. Well, if you don't, you'll get used to it if you start watching my videos, because I like to ramble on. So thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you real soon in the next one.